Welcome to PNW Prop Stars, the only Seahawks only gambling show in the multiverse. I'm your host, Clinton Bonner. Coming out and find me on Twitter at Clinton Bon. And wait, we don't have Adam today. I'm joined by the one, the only, the great Brandan Schultz. That's right, coming off the top rope. Find him out on Twitter at SeahawkersPod. And of course, the youngin', the Princetonian of parlays himself, the two-time PNW Prop Star champion, but now he's retired champion. We have Mr. Wilson Kahn, fresh off the dentist. Mr. Wilson Kahn, first and foremost, let's check in on your oral health, bud. How you doing? How's your mouth feeling? Are you stroking out or are you okay?
Yeah, well, my teeth feel great. My lip is a little bit slanted, as you can see if you're watching this on YouTube.
Slant, so little slant.
Don't be concerned. It's just anesthesia got to wear off. So
that's it.
Don't be worried.
Or just keep the party going. You're a college
kid.
Let it fly. It's all good. All right. Hey, Brandan, you're saddling up today. Adam is traveling. He was flying, training, automobile, and the entire thing there. So you've got some, I'd say, big shoes to fill, but Adam has been kind of taking the golden sombreros here. We'll check in on that in a second. Do you think you could step up and do, maybe up level the bets that we're seeing and hearing from the great state of Montana?
Yeah, what is Adam now? 1 of 12 through 3 weeks. So I'm thinking that, in just 1 week, I feel like I should be able to, I don't know, go 50-50.
Not bad. That'd be 2 for 4. And of course, we have 4 bets. We'll get into the whole format already, which would be nice. But worry not, folks. We do have Adam's bets tabulated. We will be sharing them as part of the show. And in addition, call it a 3 and 3 out Brandan, if you will, if you fancy that show. Brandan will be giving his bets as well. So for those that don't know it, what we do here is we focus on the Seahawks game because this is a Seahawks pod stream, and we take it from the angling of gambling. So if this is your first, venture with PNW Prop Stars, we like to look at all these awesome bets that are now out there and then give you our flavor as to what do we like, why do we like it, and give you at least a little bit of analysis as to what the heck we choose, why are we making that choice? And so far so good. Wilson, are you in the green this year? How are you doing so far? You're doing pretty well, right? 3 weeks.
I'm the greenest right now, actually. if Clinton's gonna show this week's standings in a minute, but just keep in mind who the real champion is.
Okay, so right. So the PNW, it's a great segue there. Let's just do it. The PNW Prop Star of the Week. Oh, it's me. Oh, would you look at that? Look at the crown. Look at the little crown there. Now, yes, Wilson is he's got the most money so far through 3 weeks, but we're doing this week by week, and then we'll do a year-end tally, of course, as well. But this week, let's just quickly look. All right, so Adam took the golden sombrero, like we talked about. Couple of, he was close with a couple of those. The one, I think if Adam was here, the one that he was the most assured about is probably that Seattle, scoring less than 7.5 points Q1, and then bingo, bango, bongo. Gino had some other thoughts around that, and Coach Carroll had some other thoughts around that, and they smashed that thing. Wilson, real quick, of the ones you hit there, or what ended up being kind of like your fave bet, or what do you want to say about your last week performance?
Well, I do want to say I got the correct number of Seahawks points, and I actually made a typo. It was supposed to be Atlanta 27 and not 17.
Oh, gotcha.
If I enter that correctly, I probably win last week. But no, jokes aside, I was very happy that London hit because he had 54 yards. So that helped me get in the green there.
Yeah,
this was lucky.
There were a couple that were close for a little bit. And Brandan, I know you've got one because you were playing along, just not on the show itself, but
right.
I and you shared one. Why don't you take that one that kind of had us, doing a little nail biting into, I think, the fourth quarter there.
Well, I like to listen to what you guys have to say and then pick out the ones that I like among what you all pick. And I actually, I had, I think, both of yours that I went with, Clinton. I went with the Fant greater than 21.5. And I know that he was sitting at 3 catches for 20 or 21 yards going into the fourth quarter. And I also had Koo plus the over on the 1.5 field goals with you.
Very nice. So it sounds like you owe me money is what that sounds like, but I appreciate that. And yeah, that Fant one, there was that play where he gets that third down reception. He's like tackled for like a yard. It's like, dude, just get upfield a bit more. And he sat there for like another quarter or so at 20, it was 21. And then he gets a fourth quarter, reception and blows it out like I thought he might. And you did too. So it was very nice. And, if you're looking at the graphic online, and by the way, folks, if you're watching this, it's on YouTube, right? It's hard to explain all this. So if you're listening to it via audio, all good. We certainly love it and share that out with all the 12s out there. This show in particular, youtube.com/Seahawkers podcast. We do put these visuals up there. So it's nice to see the odds that went along with this. So you can see Wilson and I actually have the same amount of bets correct. I just had a couple of bets that had a little more, payout my way. The coup one, greater than 1.5 field goals, paying out 105. So I ended up 28% for the week, which was a profit of $8.59. Wilson did well for himself, up almost 20% for the week, up $6.03. Keep in mind, we bet $31 and $31 only. Brandon, why do we bet $31?
First, but before I answer this, let's be real honest about the reason why Clinton wants you to go to YouTube and watch this. Because when the graphic is on the screen, the crown is now on his head. And I think he's selfishly wanting to show off how he is the champion this week. 31, it's an easy number. Bam, bam, Cam Chancellor.
That's right. I think you got all that right. The entire thing you just said. So we do 3 bets at $10 a pop to keep it dead simple to do the math later. And then our 4th bet is what we affectionately call the Fail Mary in, honor, of course, of Golden Tate and those beautiful replacement refs who called it correctly. And that's a $1 bet. The only rule there is that bet has to have plus 1,200 odds or longer, meaning if you bet $1, you'd win $12 on that bet. So that's the format for PNW Prop Stars. So, all right, we take it off screen and we get ready for now this game. We got Detroit. We're traveling to Detroit Rock City, and Vegas still thinks this is going to be a bit of a shootout. Now, a couple of days ago, we did 3 and 3 out, and what if it was at 50? That has come down to about 48.5 or 48, depending on if you're on FanDuel or DraftKings, I think respectively. And it's probably due to the injuries that are mounting for the Detroit Lions. So it's a bit of a hodgepodge. As we get going, guys, too, one more thing I noticed that you probably did too when you look through either of those options, FanDuel or DraftKings, there are not that many prop bets that are Lions focused this week. It looks like Vegas is like, hey, you could lay all the money you want on Seahawks props galore, but there are very few individual prop bets available for the Lions. Wilson, what do you think's afoot here?
Well, I think it's the injuries, like you mentioned. Part of me wonders if just the Seahawks defense is so suspect that Vegas doesn't want to get involved with any of the offensive player props, because it seems like the sky might be the limit in this game for the Detroit Lions.
That was my take too. The latter of what you said. Brandon, what do you think? Do you believe in that theory that Vegas just wants those off the board?
I thought maybe that just they don't know who plays for the Lions right now. I tried looking through my app and I saw Jared Goff as having props available. I saw the kicker having props available, but skill position players, who knows? I don't even know who plays for their team.
You're not a Quintez Cephas fan, Clinton?
Well, I am, because I have his tattoo. Well, I mean, I literally
yeah.
have his tattoo. He had a tattoo of a thing, and I got that tattoo too. But no, I'm not in reality. But let us dive in then. We got bet 1. I do wear the crown, therefore I get to go first. Again, them's are the breaks. So I'll lead out here. This is my first one, boys. And then it will go to age-wise. We'll circle back around. We'll be Wilson second, Brandan third, and then we'll chime in with Adam's picks because he did dial in from the road. Okay. So first one I like here, I'm paying 115, so minus 115 to get this action. Uncle Will receiving yards, 15.5. There's reasons I like this, and it's very much just because I think we're going to continue to work the middle of the field. given what we saw Detroit do to Justin Jefferson last week. So I like Uncle Will. He gets me 16 yards and I'm raking in a little coin. So Wilson, you got the next bet in down one, but any reaction to the Uncle Will prophecy?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, so far he seems to be not necessarily the tight end one, but just happens to be the tight end that's gotten the most action on offense. So I like that one.
Very nice.
My first down bet is pretty simple. Seahawks and Lions over 48 points total at -115. I think it's going to be a shootout, simple as that. Lions defense is a little better than ours, but it's not it's not the 2000 Ravens. It's not the 2013 Seahawks. So I like it at least 48 points. I think it's going to be another high scoring game.
Yeah, Brandon, I think it goes 85 Bears, 2013 Seahawks, then the 2022 Lions, probably, right? Like they're right there.
Yeah, I think you may be skipping a few teams, but I think that's the right order with those three.
Right. So the 48 or so, now that it's come down a bit, what do you think of Wilson's, I guess, faith that this will be a shootout?
There's one thing that concerns me about this game with it being a shootout, in that I don't know if it will be in the sense of through the air. I feel like it could be a back and forth game, but being that on the ground. And so that's why my first prop I went with was Rashad Penny at 70+, and I got this at +109. I could have taken the -110 and had it been, I think, in the 50s.
I think it's 59.5.
Yeah. But I think with it being on the turf indoors, I like Penny going 70+. And I thought about going 80+ for, I think, +120, but it felt like the sweet spot for me.
Well, I do like the vision. We talked about the idea that Penny might be able to break one or two. I think you actually called for several. I think you called for 2 30-yard touchdowns on What If, which would be wonderful to see. So I can dig it. I hope we see that. And I don't see why 70 is out of reach. His average is going to be what it is, if not even higher, against a pretty poor Lions team. So I kind of dig that. Let's give Adam some love here. His first was Geno under 254.5 yards at -115. It's funny, like Vegas had Geno in that 200 range, 210, 207. And then all of a sudden he has the breakout game. Plus Detroit has been a pretty bad defense, and Vegas has jacked that way up there. And I think Adam's basically being like, let's pump the brakes on that. He says one of these games, they're going to run the crap out of the ball, and it's going to be to the detriment of the passing yards. So Brandon, I think that's kind of what you just alluded to as well. Right. And when you run the ball, tends to chew clock more also. So it's one of those things, longer drives, and maybe not.
It can bring down the scoring. It can bring down the passing yards.
Correct.
I think that I think we have the potential to see that in this game.
I think so too. All right, Wilson, let's go to down number 2. What do you have to serve up? And then Brandon, you'll follow suit after the Princetonian takes his swing.
Well, let me be clear. I'm not betting against the Seahawks in this game, but I am definitely betting against the defense. So I have the result of the Lions' first drive is an offensive score at +115. There's also the opportunity, if you're listening, to go for a field goal attempt at 340, which I'm tempted to, but just because of the last game I think I got let down on that a little bit. I wasn't expecting the defense to give in that early, and they did. I think the Lions will have no problem moving the ball and should get at least a field goal out of the first drive. And especially at +115, I'll definitely take that.
So it's +115, and that gets you either field goal or touchdown, or you can just go field goal and get +340.
Yeah, I'm taking offensive score, but you can go just field goal.
Interesting.
Gotcha. All right. So, here's the deal, right? The Falcons punted once. So it's, and I think Vegas is seeing that. It's still the rarity. That's why you're getting paid at least a little bit that they will score in their first drive. And with that though, you're not being paid much. The Falcons, they punted once and they had a Olay fumble where they gave the ball back to us one time, and that was it. Yeah, every other time they marched the ball down there and did something with it. So interesting.
Clinton, I believe you're forgetting the kneel down at the end of the game, actually.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that back after Cordero Patterson, got more and more, yards, and we only had 2 timeouts because we used one at a really opportune moment. All right, Brandon, bring us back to Positive Town. What do you have for down number 2?
Well, now that Wilson went, I kind of want to counter his with a Quandre Diggs pick 6 for a touchdown on the first score for the Seahawks. But
wow,
I didn't see that one as available, and I didn't know that Wilson was going to be going to negative town this early. So I am also going to go with a Detroit Lions prop on this particular round. And I am going to say, much like we've talked about with this maybe being a run heavy game, I think the under for 260.5 yards for Jared Goff passing is awfully tempting at -112.
Yeah. So under 2, what was it? 260 what?
260.5. Now, if you go historically with his games against the Rams, or while he was playing with the Rams against the Seahawks, they did have several times where he was going over 300 passing yards. But that was because historically the Seahawks have been a really good run stopping defense. And, for being with the Rams, being a more pass heavy offense, I think that historically we've seen that. With his time with Detroit so far, I think he's gone over the 260 number once in these first 3 games. But again, I think with the potential of Amon-Ra St. Brown being out, with the potential of Hawkinson being injured, I think that the under is a lot better play here.
That part for me is the how you ended that is exactly why I think it's a pretty sound bet. I do think there'll be points. I'm not sure they'll be as bombastic as Vegas is predicting. And for Wilson's sake, I hope it is. And then more. And with that, I agree, Brandon. Like I think people think like wide receivers are interchangeable, like in some way, like, oh yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown's out, we'll just throw it to the next guy. Well, the next guy's not him. He won't be open like him. He won't get the yak that guy gets. He'll drop a pass or 2 that St. Brown would not drop.
Yeah. It's also Jared Goff at quarterback.
Be careful. Jared, the thumb Goff who ripped us apart last time we saw him in a playoff game, right? So be careful what you wish for with Goff.
That's true. If Quandre Diggs pick 6s him twice to start off the game, it puts him in a hole, and then he's throwing all the time. And
yes, I like it.
Then I could be in trouble.
I like you keeping it to Positive Town. So good one there. I do dig that for sure. I like it for the reasons you gave. All right. My second down pick, I'm going back to Positive Town here. I'll just say, I'll give you two numbers here. Week 2, 9 receptions. Week 3, 9 receptions. Which Seahawk do you guys think I'm talking about?
Lock it.
Lock it up with this one. Over 5.5 receptions. Okay, got to pay 135 to go get it. That's the prop. I couldn't make that an alt. That's an alt. I would actually contemplate moving up a full reception. So lock it over 5.5. So needs 6 receptions, pay 135 to get it. Specifically listening to DK Metcalf talk about Okudah, right? And he's like, yeah, he's fine. He's good. He's like, but he has help. And if you go back and watch the tape, he's getting bracketed. Like they were bracketing Jefferson with, at least a safety, sometimes 2 safeties for the bracket. So Okudah getting, if Metcalf gets the Jefferson treatment, which I think he's going to some extent, that means to me, Lockett, it will be open, will do what he does, sit down and gobble up, receptions like biscuits on Thanksgiving. So give me all the Lockett I could get, plus 5.5 receptions or over 5.5 receptions. Wilson or Brandon, either way. What do you guys think of me putting a little rocket on Lockett?
I think it's great. Big birthday game coming up. Just turned 30. He's got to show everyone he's not too old yet. I like it.
Well, thank you, Brandon. Any take on the Lockett take?
Yeah, I think 5 is very conservative by you.
Five,
I mean,
five.
but you said 5 plus, right?
Well, it's
Is that what
five
you're
and
taking?
if I get 6, I win.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Why don't you go bigger? Why don't you go 8?
I couldn't. I told I said it. I would like
I was
to.
just looking at mine. Okay, so on my, and I use a different app than you guys do because the other one's way too confusing for me. I get plus 195 for 8 plus catches for Lockett.
Wow. Yeah. So I wouldn't mind. What's plus 7? What's 7 or more?
7 or more is 107 plus 107.
That's not enough. Okay, I'm going to stick with mine. That's not enough juice to justify it. I'll stick with mine. I get 6. If I get 6 receptions, I'm in the money, and you don't go broke taking a profit. So I'll
That's
stay
a
there.
big
for that
disparity from 107 to 195.
I understand
going from
that,
7 to 8. No, I'm saying that if people have that opportunity, I wouldn't sit at 7. I would take 8.
You're saying take it, throttle it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Look at, and even with this 9 plus 370.
Hey, could he do it 3 weeks in a row? I don't see why he couldn't, right?
yeah,
So it's not a bad take. I kind of like that. Well, thank you for bringing the live calculus to the show, because I dig it a lot. All right, we do have Adams. Adam is going right back on that Penny train. I like this one too. Penny over 13.5 rushing attempts, paying him plus 105, and he says, I think they'll run a ton of plays against a bad defense, and they'll finally commit to getting Penny 15 plus carries. I can't spot the lies or the non-logic in that, that assessment by Adam there. The only thing for me would be quickly that they might want to still give Walker more. And then when we got into the 2-minute drills, Homer was out, but we saw a lot of DJ Dallas.
Right.
So there is that. There's that. And when they're doing a no huddle, it might be DJ also a little bit there, a 4-minute drill, et cetera, et cetera. So it could eat into that. With all that said, we did run 69 plays last time. Nice. And I think, thanks. And I think that Penny can get, 14 attempts. What do you guys think of that? Vegas is paying a little bit, so Vegas expects it to actually be under.
Yeah, I like with my first down bet, I like the yards a little bit better just because I like the breakaway potential. And then I like the fact that if the Seahawks are up 2 touchdowns and they pull Penny and put in Walker, then I'm not really waiting for those carries late in the game.
Dig it. I like that. All right. So we are moseying now to down number 3. Brandon, this is your down to lead off. So what do you have, good sir?
All right. Well, we are getting close to predictions. I like the Seahawks in this game, but I also like when I can also get points and be in the plus territory. So I saw that I could take 2.5 points and still get plus 135. Mm-hmm. And so that way, if there happens to be a last second field goal that just, puts the dagger into me and they take the L, I like having those 2.5 points just as a little bit of a buffer if the defense lets us down late in the game. So yeah, $10 wins you 23.5 at plus 135.
Nice. Look, he's doing the math. Look at this guy. He's doing math. He's throwing math at us there, Wilson.
This is why I like this app. It tells you like what is what. And
that's nice.
I don't know what you guys are doing with your
I use FanDuel does the same thing. That does that too. It's nice. It's all good. Hey, the fact that we could just do that from our phone nowadays, and they treat us like adults who could just spend money the way we want to spend money, and you don't have to fly to Las Vegas or go to Atlantic City to place a bet legally. Yes. I
mean, I don't have to do anything. I just have it on my phone and it does the odds, and then I do a screenshot just so I know.
Look at you. Like you're living.
I mean, I don't even have to press the place bet function. I could play along.
Just playing along. All right. So Wilson playing along as Brandon is. You have a third down play. What is it, good sir?
Well, it's lock it over 5.5. Same reasons.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. But we liked it earlier. Good, same reasons. Hey, I'm with you, obviously. And you know what? I like when that happens, because we purposely don't rehearse these. We don't say what they're going to be. Sometimes they line up and sometimes they don't, depending on who's going. And I like when that happens, because then what happens on Sunday when he gets his 6th reception on a 7-yard out. I'm texting you, money bags dropping and we're celebrating together, which is nice. All right. So my third down one real quick. On third down, I'm going to take a Wilson-esque shot at a third down one and go a little bit bigger. Travis Homer is out. He's on the IR. So at least 4 weeks, right? He's out with the rib cartilage damage. All right. Heal up. I do think we're going to see a decent amount of DJ Dallas, and he will be that 2-minute drill, maybe 4-minute drill guy. DJ Dallas, anytime touchdown, pay me $4.25. I think he's going to get some chances. And if we're moving the ball late into either the second half or end of game, number 31 will be on the field, and then they like to give the dude his chances. So at $4.25, it's not the safest bet, but for $10, make 42 and a half dollars. I kind of dig it. Brandon, what do you think that I'm taking a little swing on third down? Are you proud of me, most importantly?
On a third down, yeah, that's a pretty big one. It interested me enough that I had to check it on mine. I'm getting plus 485 for a DJ Dallas anytime touchdown. It's tough because anytime you're picking these anytime touchdown bets, I would tend to lean more toward the tight ends, but I like your rationale with Travis Homer being out.
Well, thanks, dude.
And plus there's, with DJ Dallas on top of that, you also have the added potential of a special teams kickoff return touchdown, which we've never seen, but it could be the first time.
Nope. Nope. He's a good kickoff returner.
He doesn't have the
He could straight line his way there, Clinton. You never know.
Nope. He's going to get caught by somebody from behind. Nope. It won't. I wish it would happen because then I'll win my bet. And the Seahawks will score 6 points and probably 7. It's not going to happen. He's a good kickoff returner because he reads things well. I like him as kickoff returner. He's just not a breakaway guy. But I like I like where you were going.
I'm trying to give you credit for the added value.
Oh, thank you. Value for value, as we say here. All right. Adams, it was and is Geno under a half interception. By the way, we talked about Adam being one for 12 this year. This bet in week 1.
That was the one.
This is his Doctor Strange.
He's going back to the well.
He's going back to the well. This time it pays him he pays him $115. He actually says, there it is, only bet I've won all season. So I'm texting exactly that. I'm going back to the well. Geno takes care of the football well, and this Detroit D is not good. The challenge there for me quickly is that if it's a shootout, as folks are predicting, he might be passing the ball 35 plus times. And I don't care who you are, sans maybe Rodgers, you pass the ball 35 plus times, your chance of throwing interception become fairly heavy there. Hence, Vegas paying fairly handsomely at plus 115 for no interceptions in the game. Wilson, any takes? If you had to make that bet, do you take that bet or do you go the other direction?
I think you might throw a pick. I think it could just be as simple as what happened at the end of the game last week, which is you just need a desperation at some point. I think Geno is usually safe with the ball, but now that they're opening things up a little bit more, he's kind of got the light. He's kind of got a green light and got like a yellow light to take some more chances. So I would bet on an interception personally. If I had to choose one side.
I got you. Brandon, how about you? You 50-50, where are you at?
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on it, but I would tell Adam that I like Tyler Lockett with 6 catches more than I like Geno with 0 interceptions.
Right. So, well, Adam will listen and hear this and while he's on the road, but I love that he called out that like he's the only one that's worked so far. So it's got to work every time. I love that, that logic and that thought process. And as Seahawks fans, it would be delightful if Geno throws 32 times, 34 times and 0 picks. That'd be quite nice. So certainly rooting for that. So go Adam. All right. We are on to our Fail Mary. Once again, that's $1 scratcher, so a $1 bet. The rules are it has to be at least 1,200 or longer odds. Okay, I think I go first. I think it's back to me. So my Fail Mary of the week is these are about hunches. You said it last week, Wilson. You're like, it's if you got a vibe, you got a feeling, you go with it. Sure, you can compile all your ways to it, do whatever you want. It's your bet. This one kind of stood out to me. Will there be overtime? Yes. Plus 1340. Just manifesting it, I could see 27-27. I could see 30-30, 26-20, 24-24, something weird like that. I could see overtime in this game. I think it's going to be tight. I could see a last second field goal to send it to overtime, or a miss to push it to overtime. So why not? OT plus 1340. Make the money before the heart attack, or have the heart attack and make the money. I think it's a fun bet, and I guess we shall see. Wilson, it's your go. If you want to comment on that one, feel free. If not, just march on with yours. Your call.
Sure, it's pretty good at 1340. I thought it, I'm surprised that got into the quadruple digits. Just considering the line is not like massive. I mean, it's 4.5, but it's not massive in this game, so I like that one.
All right.
So here's my thing. The Lions are going to lose the coin toss, but Geno Smith is going to walk out on the field and say, "We want the ball and we're going to score." And the way we're going to score is a touchdown to Marquise Goodwin at plus 3,000 for the first touchdown of the game.
Wow.
Hunch, yeah, just a little bit. The bracketing of DK is one thing, and with DK kind of shut down, sure, Lockett's an option, but good. Is it Goodwin or Godwin? Goodwin. Definitely Goodwin. I get confused with the guy on the Bucks, but he's been getting a decent share of. He's the wide receiver 3, so at 3,000, I'll take it. He's getting a decent share of targets. Now, if D. Eskridge gets this touchdown, I will be pretty upset, but I think it's going to be Goodwin.
Yes. DJ,
is Dallas, it higher odds for D, or is it the same?
Oh, I don't think they have odds for Eskridge. They have him for anytime touchdown, and it's at it's close to 2,000. It's not. He's barely better than Derek Young.
The best I get is 900 for an anytime touchdown, or even first touchdown. It's weird. I never get quad digits on mine.
See, your app isn't that great now, is it, Brandon? So
it's a lot easier to look at and read and understand. So in that way, it's good for me.
All right, good. Well, it works for you. So, all right. So it is your Fail Mary. Why don't you take it away?
Yeah, the one that I like on this is, now I also heard DK Metcalf talking about Jeff Okudah and the help that he has over the top. And I like that maybe he's going into this game with a little bit of emotion. And I should also note that one other difference with my app is that I can't make a $1 bet, so I'd have to do a $2 bet. And so I'm Chris Carson memorializing mine. Sure. And so I have $2 on DK Metcalf to go 10 plus receptions with a payout of plus 3,900.
Wow. All right, cool. I mean, hey, that's a healthy plus 3,900 is very healthy.
That's extremely healthy.
I mean, 10's a lot. I do wonder, has DK ever had 10 in his career?
Oh, like I just have those numbers at my fingertips.
He definitely has. I remember I think the game that he had at
Philly,
against
the
Niners.
The playoff game against the Eagles. Yeah, he had like 1,000 receptions and 2,100 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah. Or there was the game against the Niners where he caught it at midfield and then just kind of ran all the way to the sideline and then just outran everyone. I think he had at least 12 in that game.
Gotcha. So
he's also had Russell Wilson throwing him the ball. So
so he'll probably have even more now.
There's a little bit different that. But I mean, just go back to the last game against Atlanta. He had 12 targets. Now he only caught 5, but 12 targets. I could see him working it out to where he's able to get double digits based on if he's getting that many looks by Geno. I think he's going to have some opportunities. And yeah, looking back at last year, not last year, 2020. So he hasn't had double digits in receptions in 2021, but in 2020, he hit it twice in the regular season.
Okay. So, well, we're back to an even year. So he should be just like, Myers could kick field goals again. DK should get to double digits again. Well, I mean, the plus 3,900 is a lot of fun. The reason I like the reception over bets, they're just kind of fun. They're fun to watch, and they're volume plays. And when you start getting that, like you had Kyle Pitts, you texted me the other day about Kyle Pitts at like, that was kind of like your Fail Mary on the side there, Brandon. And he had what, 5 in the first half or 4?
And then I think he got shut out in the second.
Yeah. So, but it is cool because you see a dude getting involved early. You're like, I could do this. I could hit this bet.
Kyle Pitts was my Fail Mary last week.
Yeah. And it failed as most of them will, but that's okay. But again, plus 3,900, very, very healthy. If that does happen, then that will make Adam's Fail Mary quite more likely. He's got each team to score 2 touchdowns each in each half. So we're talking, 4 touchdowns total.
8 total.
Yeah, 8 touchdowns total, and it has to be 2 for each team in each half, playing plus 1,700. And Adam simply says it's defense optional football, and it's gonna be it will be a shootout. So it's in a dome. We know the weather's going to be good. These are, I think, right now the 31st and 32nd ranked defenses in some respects. Depending on what analytics you're looking at. And why not? It'll be fun. It sounds like it might be the exact kind of game that Adam despises. That was it, Rams Chiefs a couple of years ago.
Oh, that was my favorite game ever. That was awesome.
51-48. This is the greatest game of all time, except for playing defense is cool too, I suppose, right? So it might be Adam's exact game that he hates, but it also might end up paying him quite handsomely to make him like it a bit more, this brand of football. So very cool, fellas. Hey, anything to close out, Brandon? Any of the ones you love, or any things you're looking for in particular as we head into Detroit Rock City to try and get this W?
I really like you guys with your Tyler Lockett picks. I couldn't go there with also having DK in my Fail Mary spot. So I'm I'm wondering if I need to shift some things around, but I'm gonna stick with what I have.
Yeah, you got to stick. You got to give. Wilson, what do you got for us as we wrap?
Nothing football related. Just if I look slightly deformed next week, let me know, because I might have to go back to the dentist and chew him out a little bit over that.
Well, you go back to the dentist and have him just put the thing in the other side.
The other side. There we go.
I mean, you won't look good, but obviously it'll be even. Yeah, it'll even out. It'll be all right. All right, boys. With that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.